Hey everyone, it's I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve Omi update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that thanks button down below. Happy October 3rd, everyone. Comment all your favorite Mean Girls moments and tweets and whatever down in the comment section below. Today, not a great day for Omi. Again, it is only about 12 o'clock right now. We are down about 0.6%, give or take. That is coming off the backs of us only having $414,000 in volume. Again, as whales get in, one person can change that. So most likely multiple people can change that. Despite Tesla being down almost 9% on the day so far, the markets are rallying. S&P 500 up 1.9%, Dow up 2.1%, and Nasdaq up 1.3%. So I guess really the markets aren't too concerned about what is happening with the Nord Pipeline or what has been happening between Russia and Germany. I think the reason for that is because now Russia doesn't have anything to hold over Germany's head. Germany can still continue supporting Ukraine. I think we've had about 15 billion go to Ukraine over the last several years, since 2014. Very long story about that. But the markets do seem to be reacting positively to that news, despite the fact that Germany is in for a cold, cold winter. Outside of the general markets, we did not also outperform Bitcoin or Ethereum. Ethereum's up over 3% today. Price of Bitcoin's up 1.66%. So it is good for the markets all around, except for Omi. So hopefully we catch up later in the week. In other macro news, we do have Oxford, the said business school. They are starting a blockchain course that does start on 26 October, so a couple weeks from today. And they do have, it's a 6-week program. It's very, very short. It's only $2,300, and it is a blockchain strategy program. So I think a lot more universities will be able to have this as well. They just need professors. Right now, I feel like none of the professors are really that good at it. They don't really have this intimate knowledge of it. But as more professors like that get hired, we should see more programs like this pop up. Just a little update on yesterday. For those of you that did not get those pumpkin drops or do not have Feesh and you got those pumpkin drops, take a look at them. Keep an eye on them closely. Those probably will change. Also, shout out to the Veve Punks that they had made a Randy Chavez, Veve Punks number 51, making a Randy Chavez NFT. Thought that was really heckin' awesome. So we do have news from David going and saying the snapshot for the Pride drops will be taken on 15 October. They will announce this shortly. It will be for both Pride 1 and Pride 2. Has to go to bed. Now let's connect next time. And they did happen to go over that in an announcement with Alex. So Alex and David were both ones that had announced that on a video. It was, I think, 12 minutes from yesterday. Thought that was pretty cool. We decided to drop that alpha in the Walt group. So if you happen to have a Walt group, contact Partner Statue. Yeah, it's at Partner Statue over on the Twitter. If you have one, you can get in the group. You just need to prove that you have that Walt, that Partner Statue. So I haven't really talked too much about the sub 41 thing where they said that they would eventually at some point for some of the collectibles, maybe they would go and release a couple of the sub 41 mints, whether number 40, number 19, 28, whatever. Again, most of them are locked up. Most of them are towards licensors. Most of them are towards, for museums in the future. So most of them, like 99% of them, they either won't be released or the released will just affect a couple of mints. Figuring the 41 through 99 are still like that top S tier. These are just like these God tier. It's just impossible to get. But we do have tweets coming in from Alex going over and saying that the clip shared above, where a clip shared above had mentioned, Alex said that the sub 41s and sub 201s for comics, etc., would not be released in the future. The reason they did it was by mistake. Enjoy your first public mints. But then Alex comes on to say, the clip shared above is only 2 months old, but it's what was referring to when I mentioned in the community update that I had gone on record saying they will never see the light of day, end quote. 41 will still be the lowest available. Anything below that will be few and far between. So again, he does mentioning that would be few and far between. It won't be for every collectible. Then he goes on to say, the same goes for us internally. I really don't like being wrong, especially about stuff like this, but we have to adapt to what we're given. Regardless, my communication has to be more calculated to avoid confusion in the community. I think that's pretty big of him, apologizing like that. Some more news on David, saying that somebody wanted to go and say, hey, when are we going to be up here? I would like to see Veve up here. And these are just companies that do a lot of volume with NFTs. You have OpenSea, Magic Eden, X2Y2, CryptoPunks, Blockto Immutable X Marketplace. Oh, Immutable X is going to go to the freaking moon once we're on here. Looks Rare, Theta Drop, and GameStop Marketplace are the top 9. So when asked, when Veve on here, or when can we get Veve on here, David says, okay. well, we'll see it on there in the future. And speaking of CryptoPunks just had a NFT number 5944 sell for 980 ETH. Yes, that's 980 ETH. That is $1.28 million. So good job on them. But speaking of Veve getting a little bit more representation, we do have Taps Trade saying he's watching the Eat the Rich trending docuseries on Netflix about the GameStop pump, the short squeeze. Just caught a first appearance of Veve on Netflix. It is a brief scene in episode 3 when they show them deleting the Robinhood app. And then on there, you see Veve Collectibles. So I'm not 100% sure why they chose that specific image, that specific scene. I guess it is really, really quick. You do have a couple of people on there on Twitter that have seen that show and completely missed this, but Taps' keen eye, he was able to go and get that. I thought that was really interesting. I think whether it's the director, producer, at some point somebody decided, hey, this is a good thing to put in, have Veve on there. Maybe we'll have more. News from Brockman Blockchain, I guess I have a couple of things. He mentioned yesterday on Twitter, TCAAD 4XT2. I'm not 100% sure what this means. Adenine, cytosine, thymine. I don't know if as far as genomes and gene sequencing, I don't think D stands for anything, so it's definitely not that. I was hoping that there would be some type of way in which the Feesh could breed, but if there is a D that I'm missing that I kind of forgetting in my studies, comment down below, or if you know exactly what that means, let me know. He hasn't made any updates from Feesh recently. The last one saying, hey everyone, exploring an opportunity that crossed my way, seeing if there's enough interest. I understand alcohol and beer may not be everyone's thing. Also due to laws, I cannot distribute outside of the US if this were a thing, but if you are interested, please let me know. If the first was successful, I could see a collaboration with another country to get it wider. If there's not enough interest or even interest in the US, I'll ditch it, no biggie. That he was talking about getting Feesh beer, which I would overpay for. Comment down below if you would like some Feesh beer. But that was the last announcement that he did. So there is really no, again, this will make sense for Feesh. What happens in the general Feesh market or the Feesh world afterwards. It might have to do something with the metaverse. Not 100% sure, but I just thought that y'all should know. But speaking of the Brockman blockchain, he says, my DMs are full of this sub 41 stuff. I'm really drained lately with everything being the end of the world / worst thing ever, but here we go. Here is a thread on it. Veve has always held 40 back other than the first 2 drops, where it was the first 16 or 15. They weren't all for Veve though. They were always set up to be used for historical purposes for Veve, IP holders, and then some for marketing, etc. That's why they're now using them for, from what I've heard. They said a few, so like 1 or 2 or so per collectible, and that's if they even go back and do them all. I've been a part of digital collecting and items for a decade, and this just adds another layer of collecting for me. It won't be for all users, just like sub 100s are not for all users. But he goes on to say they're purposely mixing up the mints they'll give away so that no one can collect a full set of sub 40, meaning a huge sub 100 collector, like himself, who doesn't mind, says sub 100s are still S tier, but sub 41 are now like God tier, as they have to be won and then hunted after the fact. But he's also saying that if there's number 37 on one, there'll be number 28 on the other, so you won't actually get a full set of it, which I thought was really interesting. Moving on. It says, 41 is not worthless just because it's not the lowest. No, in fact, it's probably worth just as much as before. Collectors who want something special can hunt for sub 40s, but won't have a full collection ever. Getting a full set of a matching mint is worth more to most collectors I know. In fact, a full matching set is what was seeking 7 figures early on. Get the heck out of my comments with the comments on current sentiment or crying about the other stuff. So I'd take 41s daily. I've also seen communities see this insanely rare items as marketing items only, and they're not as sought after, very non-liquid, as you need someone who wants that specific item's low mint for whatever price it may be. It will depend on the market. The flip side is now you're opening up the chance for new existing users to grab something that's truly unique and create a unique experience. That's how you make superfans who scream it from the rooftops about the experience. Imagine someone new to the app wins a contest running and ends up with a truly unique and mint collectible. Their excitement will be 1 out of 1, ha ha ha. But now they're telling everyone they know about it from Veve. It's part of the larger market effort Veve had 2+ years ago. So when I asked, I said I didn't care. It doesn't affect my collection in the least. It gives me a thrill of the hunt again, as there's a potential for new treasures for me to hunt after. It also works for everyone as a greater marketing effort. This isn't news. It was always planned, but I would like to say this year too. Stream market stuff has been going for 10+ years, and and have seen their fair share of crashes. It's not Veve specific. It's not Veve specific. It's markets and life. Things go up and down. Not everything is the worst ever, always. Veve Viral going and making a couple of shots at people saying, I spend most of my NFT time on Veve, so I'm well aware of OUP, crypto pay-in, exchanges, Veveverse, KYB, which is Know Your Business, staking, MCP, and the long list of reasons to be bullish for the next run, $OMI. Can someone update me on Bat Cows, Recur, and Earth 2? Oof, my heart. Holding some bags there as well. So the Bat Cows, they are above retail. I think the lowest one is like $430. Retail was $300. Recur is quite the opposite. Retail was similar to Bat Cows in that the retail was $300, but now you're getting it. I think you can get it for like $80 for a Recur pass. Earth 2 has amazing things. Obviously, still going on pretty much every day. There are new countries released every month. They do have they have, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands going into it every week, every month, whatever. Obviously not as big as Veve that has $1 million going into it every week. So it's not as much as that, but they still have consistent, the way we have drops, they drop new countries, they drop new land. And it's very possible that the next, whoever gets on the next exchange is probably going to be Earth 2's Essence. I would guess that Earth 2's Essence, which isn't on any exchanges right now, will be on exchanges before OMI is on any new ones, just because they're not on one yet. They do want to go slowly but surely. So I'm just throwing that out there. In other news, Sega, which is one of the most influential Japan-based gaming companies, has announced that it will build its first blockchain-based game. Can't wait to see where that is. And from Kelly the Veve Fox, or @RootlessGirl over on the Twitter, says, first impressions of Veve official metadata on Immutable. Excited to see this. And what we do have with that is a bunch of, you can see where the wallets are going and what their mints are and the transaction ID for Vader's TIE Fighter, Nova, Ultraman Ace, Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, Ultra 7, Zaffi, Ultraman Jack. So it is a lot of things that are recent. And then you do also have on here for the Ultraman exactly what it is, exactly where it's at. So that's really cool. I don't know when all of them are backdated. Everyone from now on will be automatically on Immutable X metadata, but for the first season and second season and third season, probably by the end of the year we get everything, but it'll be slowly but surely we'll be able to see that. So I don't know what people are going to start complaining about next if they're not real NFTs. Now we have metadata, so there you go. And we do have someone named Bavaro9.sol calling out Ray Fixie, saying 10 months ago the partner statue is at 50,000. Ray Fixie said it'd be $250,000 guaranteed. Bavaro said it would be 0. Bavaro says, I guess I'm getting really close to winning that one. I don't know how you think this can go to 0. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. But Ray Fixie retweets that and says, still going to 250,000 and beyond. Only a matter of time. Wait for crypto, MCP, OUP. Then you'll understand why it's important to have one in your portfolio. Now, I've said this will reach 6 figures fairly easily, especially in the next bull market. $250,000, I think it could at one point. I don't know if it's going to happen in the next bull market, but it very well could. It's very possible. Anything can happen. You know, if it could reach 50,000 in the last bull market with literally nobody here, it's very possible that when you have millions of people, or at least 500,000, like David had suggested, and even a couple of those people, all you have is 1% of that. If you have 500,000 people, and 1% of those want a walt, and they are whales, they all can't get one. Why? Because at 500,000 people, if you have 1% that make $400,000 a year or more, that is 1% in America, then you have 5,000 people that can't get one because there's only 4,333. They took, let's say, 100 of those. Dr. Profit has well over 300. So there's actually less than 4,000 available publicly. It's going to be a really, really tight squeeze for that. One of the most iconic things that you can get. I know I mentioned the Pride drop before, but Veve did just tweet out saying snapshot for Pride and Pride 2 holders will happen 15 October, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. One airdrop for each edition of either collectible owned will be delivered in the week following. Ray Fixie said, if I own 300 Prides, do I get 300 airdrops? And there was no answer to that. So hopefully that gets answered. And if you own multiple, maybe you get multiple. I'm not sure though. But that's it for today. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashie. Bye-bye, Dashie. I love you guys. Bye. Meow, 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 meow. Don't look at me. Meow, 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 meow.